I'm Jen Valenga, and this is the Ditch Your Backup Plan podcast. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, I'm glad to have you back. Today is a Just Jen episode on fear and risk. Listeners are multi-talented creators, fearless friends here to be inspired while they take the career path less traveled. There are many unexpected lessons I've uncovered in the 9 months and nearly 9,000 downloads since I launched this podcast. One of the big takeaways is that creatives don't register risk in the same way as most people. Here's Maya Lynn Robinson from episode 24. What do you think is the biggest risk you've had to take in your career?
The biggest risk I've had to take in my career. Like in terms of what? What does that mean?
I'm asking you. I think that's a great answer because I happen to think artists don't register risk the same way other people do.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think you risk every single time you put yourself out there. You don't know, is emotional, physical? Like, I'm not really sure.
It's almost like I spoke a different language to you. You're like, what? And that's the point.
I'm very confused.
You can look at research on fear, on the fight or flight syndrome and creative risk-taking. But I have a theory about risk-taking for artists that I hope will help you understand risk in a different way. When working in a theater, there is a protocol for peril. For instance, when an actor is standing on stage in the path of a moving wall or a falling wrench from the light grid above, the person who sees the peril calls out a warning. Heads up! They do this in baseball, too. I'm always the mom yelling heads. It's the one protocol that I get. On set, they call out points to warn of sharp objects coming through. What happens after the warning in theater, not so much in baseball, is that those in the path of peril acknowledge the warning by saying thank you. They adjust their path, breathe a sigh of relief, and keep working. There will be falling wrenches on your career path. Expect them. What good does it do to be afraid or abandon your path because of falling wrenches? Trust your community to warn you. Say thank you, adjust, breathe, and keep working. We need all of your many talents. A global pandemic is a big wrench with no warning. If you are feeling disoriented, that's appropriate. When big perils cause tech rehearsals to pause, we take an early or extended dinner break. During a 10 out of 12-hour rehearsal, we acknowledge the break. Thank you, dinner break. We breathe a sigh of relief that we've gained back some time in an exhausting but exhilarating workday. What do you do with that extra time? Do you have a leisurely meal with other fearless friends? Do you take a nap? Work out? Do you use the time to create, to work on another project? Because, after all, you are multi-talented and inspired by creating. All of these choices are completely acceptable for both an extended dinner break or a pandemic shutdown. In an office in the business world, they do not expect falling wrenches in their workspace. They have other perils, but their community does not have warning protocols embedded into their operations. We don't walk around the theater or soundstage constantly afraid of wrenches, sharp points, and moving walls. We know there's a risk, but we trust our community to give us a warning. Fearless friends, take the risks. A trusted community is why you can navigate a risky career path. I am honored to be a part of your community. I am honored to be the one to say, heads up, to warn you of the perils of a career in arts and entertainment. The financial challenges are real. Don't be foolish. You need to sustain yourself. But the next time you have a naysayer, somebody who doubts your ability to make a path and career in arts and entertainment, ask yourself, or better yet, ask them, if they are in a job that includes a community of people who warn them of perils and help them adjust, then ask them where they'd rather be. When I say heads up, you acknowledge it, breathe, adjust, and keep creating. I'm Jen Valenga, and this is the DYBP Podcast. Next week, I interview Dr. Elisa Hurwitz, aka Instagram's Dr. Drama. We discuss mental health for the performing artist. Have you checked out my show notes on the DitchYourBackupPlan.com website? A big thank you to Kristen Crawford and Olivia Carter for researching and compiling show notes for my guests. Head over and check them out. Fearless friends, thanks for listening. Heads up!